I really feel like people are not looking at those like tangible small things. Am I sending that person a text? Am I sending that person a call? Like, hey, just want to call you, see, are you okay? Are you safe? Are you healthy? Hey, did you need anything? Those kind of things. A lot of those people that you're dating right now or dated beforehand have fallen off and you haven't heard from them because you don't offer anything to them. They can't
And
come through, right? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickback Conversations. I'm your host, Brandon Scott. We have a wonderful guest with us today, a young lady I've known for a number of years. Her name is Dr. Arlene. She is actually a life coach as well, and I said I had to bring her on today to talk about it. It's about self-care. Right now, as we're going through so many different things, we have so many different things that we're prioritizing. Self-care has to be something that we literally have to prioritize more of. So we're going to talk about some of the different things that self-care is happening and what's going on definitely when it comes to relationships, whether it be dating, whether it be people in relationships, and even friendships and family. But we're gonna talk about all of that. I mean, Arlene, welcome. I'm sorry.
so excited to be here. You're doing some amazing things with your podcast, the information that you provide.
Thank you.
So I'm just so excited I'm honored to be here, and just two great minds come together to just talk about a really important topic, which is
Yes.
self-care. I feel like a lot of times
Yes.
is used abusively.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
we only think about the physical self-care, but there's so much more about self-care that if you really dig deep into it and apply them, it can really change your life.
Absolutely. Like I think the first thing we have to define what it is, right? So when I tell people like self-care, like what is it? This is my definition. I want to hear your definition. My definition is real simple. It's just straight out the box. Self-care is anything positive you do that makes your mind, body, and soul better. Period. And I feel like that's a big thing. It encompasses a lot of different things. And I say positive because I feel like sometimes I hear self-care definitions and people say, well, it's something that actually makes you feel good. But there are a lot of things that are negative things that actually make you feel good that are not good for your overall self-care. So how do you define it?
I love your definition, by the way. I was My definition of self-care is where one is in tune with their self,
Okay.
um, in order to increase their overall health, spirit, and minds. And
Hmm.
it's not just a physical thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I think
So
some
I
of
think
the like pillars of like what self-care is represented as being talk about physical, spiritual, mental health, emotional, even exploration, trying different things, that kind of thing. I think part of that, are some of my pillars, but I think some of the things that are also the pillars of like active self-care start with fitness and diet and hygiene and sleep and relationships, right?
I completely agree. I think one of the issues that I am, as a person who's a life coach and is really big on self care, because that's one of my
Hmm.
biggest things that I'm passionate about when it comes to talking to women and other communities, is self care is not physical. I
Right.
I think a lot of times when people think of self care, they think of, oh, I'm in the gym, I'm doing my keto diet,
Right.
I'm which is all the things that you said, which is absolutely true. But
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget about the inner work that's required.
Yes.
Sometimes because of our past experiences, we sometimes show up in a negative way.
Yeah.
Whether it's being very, just being a nasty person,
Yeah.
being very grumpy, just not really happy about where they are.
Right.
Just a lot of things come up because of past experiences. And I think sometimes when it comes to self-care, that's an area that a lot of people struggle with actually pursuing, like actually going
Hmm.
back to their personal life and wondering why they have certain traits or respond to certain ways.
Right.
I know for you, you're a relationship expert. And I know for you, you're always encouraging people to, proper way of getting into relationships.
Yeah.
And the self-care when we really look within and really try to heal ourselves and take those healing things that we learn to be a better person, whether it's being more compassionate,
Yeah.
being more honest, having more integrity, being able to have healthy relationships.
Yes.
You don't know how many people out here are in
Mm.
very
Just toxic relationships. I mean, and I think because you're hitting on it right now, just some of the challenges, overall challenges that we're facing when it comes to achieving self care. I think in order, I always tell people, in order to get to know somebody else, you have to first know you, right? You have to understand you, whether it be the good, the bad, the ugly, things you filed away years ago that you don't want to deal with, right? All of those different things. And I think self care actually brings some of those things about because it helps you get into a space where you can deal with some of those things, right? Because I feel like sometimes, and I always bring this up, I watch the show Insecure has a lot of meanings for a lot of different people. Issa's character on the episode, we didn't really see Issa understand herself a lot, right? So when Lawrence was removed from her life, everything seemed to unravel for her a lot of times because I feel like she didn't ultimately know her. But I'll say like one of the challenges, and I'll kind of speak on behalf of guys, and I know you have like a lot of great wisdom for the ladies. I think one of the challenges for men in getting to self care is not thinking it's a masculine enough thing, right? It's not masculine. It's not manly. Like, man, you want to get a massage, bro? Like, what is that, bro? That's a woman thing, bro. We don't do that. So I think a lot of men, especially black men, we hold all these things in. We have all these things that we're dealing with. A lot of men start to self medicate on things that are not good for them because they can do it in a much more positive way, through self care. So how do you feel? You feel like the women have the same kind of issues? I don't feel like women have the same kind of issues when it comes to like it being a not being a feminine thing, right? Like and it's celebrated. I think with you guys, like talking to your girlfriends, like yeah, I'm about to go run a hot bath, my aromatherapy, candles on, listen to some music, girl, and just take care of me tonight. Those are not the conversations that a lot of times men have. What do you think?
absolutely. I completely agree. And self care again is something that African men in general have
Yeah.
issues, but with women, it's completely celebrated. We
Yes.
love our nails hair done, having a drink with the girls, and having a therapeutic session where we're telling
Yes.
all our friends. But I think sometimes self care can also be abused because
Mm.
because us as women, we're so used to getting together, doing our nails, doing our hairs, having these conversations. But the question is, are we reflecting and healing from it? Are we becoming
Yeah.
better? You know, it when I do my nails, when I go do my nails, am I doing it for self care just because of beauty, or because I really need that time to shut down and
Right.
self
Right.
reflect and actually give time to myself where I just think about things that are in my life that I need to work on, or that I'm happy about, that I just want to be grateful about, that I just want to be positive about. I always encourage people, every morning try to think of positive
Yes.
things to set your thoughts of gratitude,
Yeah.
because that's a way of self care. So again, like
Yes.
I mentioned before, here I want to push is an internal thing. Like
Yes.
yes, we do these things as far as getting massages and getting our hair done, getting our nails done, going on
Right.
trips. When we're going on these trips, let's remind ourselves what is it going to do for us in our spiritual being, in our
Yes.
mind, body, and again, us as women, it's a thing that we do all the time. But I think sometimes we forget to actually like self-reflect and really like think within of how am I becoming better with this opportunity to self-reflect or have self-care time.
Absolutely. I think another challenge that I've heard people say is just I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do that. I have whether you have kids or responsibilities or demanding job or you're in grad school or whatever that might be. What would be your advice to those people who say I don't have enough time to do some of those self care things?
It's about what's more important to you.
Hmm.
Being a healthy overall person within, is that more important to you, or just getting stuff done?
Right.
And there's finances involved, there's time involved, but you have to create the time and see self-care as a value. like I mentioned before, I think sometimes self-care could be abused. Sometimes we just use it as I'm going to get my nails done. Oh, I'm doing self-care.
Yes.
But it's like, no, you need to actually have the mindset of this is my opportunity to rejuvenate. This
Yes.
is my time to actually put in more into me than what I put out. Especially as women, we are a generation, we are givers. We want to,
Yes.
we're givers, we're we're hard workers, we're the alpha females, we're in charge, we are giving so much, and sometimes you could be just completely depleted.
Yes.
And self-care again is the opportunity to all the things that you give out, the love, the passion, the hard work you give out needs to be put back into you. So if you don't see that personally as a priority, you're not going to make time for it.
Well, I'm gonna say this on behalf of the men too, that it's been the lack of us in your lives that have contributed to you guys needing more self-care, because I feel like a lot of women, whether they're single or in relationships or have kids, all of the different dynamics, the issue is sometimes you wear so many different hats for so many different people. And sometimes, and I was telling someone recently who I'm like, yo, you're doing way too much. You're over here, over there. What about you? Like, you have to prioritize yourself in this season, because if you don't, and I've seen people reach their 40s and 50s and never do that, and they're always pouring onto other people, and they miss out on a lot of opportunities in life that they really wanted, whether that be to be married or to have kids or whatever. But it's our responsibility as men, and all my brothers out there talking to y'all, like, it's our responsibility to make sure, hey, babe, can I take that off your plate? I see you got a lot going on. Let me take care of that for you. Especially acts of service women definitely will appreciate you saying that to them. But I feel like those are some of the things, of us being more in tune to what you need, more in tune to seeing the partner. And I feel like a lot of guys either are not in tune, and y'all gonna keep dating him. That brother's never gonna be in tune. That's who he is, right? He's not in tune, or he's in tune, but he's always seeing you, Arlene, as like a superwoman, right? You're a superwoman. You have the S on your chest. So he's like, oh, she got it. She's always done it. And a lot of times I've seen that with a lot of black women who've always done that for everybody in their family and their friend group and everything. They've always done it, and they make it look so easy. But we need to do a better job of helping you guys, when it comes to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it deals with vulnerability, which is something a lot of people don't want to go to.
Right. Right.
Like, women to be vulnerable and say, I need this. And that, again, that goes back to what self-care really is, being in tune with oneself in order to make healthy, better decisions.
Yeah.
So in your case, the example that you gave, if you're dating someone and you realize that you want your man to be someone to help you in your self-care and getting a lot of load off, you have to be willing to share those feelings with him.
Yes.
And again, it goes back to those times that you spent by yourself, investing in your self-care, where you can identify, okay, this is what I want. Because I think a lot of excuses that men give us as women is they don't know what they want. Women don't know.
Say that? Men say that? We give excuses?
Men say women don't know what they want. Yeah. And I personally, that's another reason why I encourage women to do self-care, because a man, once you truly, and you're honest with who you are, and you're honest about what I need as a woman, and what Oprah says you need, or whatever social media place that you're looking at, when you actually look inside and see what you really need, then you become more vulnerable and more direct in telling a man what you really need. And he, if he's a man of good character and, a man that really wants to, be there for you, he'll be able to meet that need. And I think being in a quarantine is a huge self-care now. Everyone now is forced to do some self-care, whether it's reading books, spending time with family, repairing relationships, empowering more relationships that you already have. Because right now you're required to just sit in, and now you're kind of required to hear your thoughts and things that you're struggling with, and realizing that these are issues that maybe are coming up that you need to take the time to have some self-care to heal those things and have a better insight on it.
So with that being said, I want to talk about some ideas that we have for everybody listening, everybody watching right now. What are some of the ideas? And I'm going to give five things for guys rather that I feel like would benefit you fellas in self care. Dr. Arlene, she's going to give you guys five things for the ladies. So as a gentleman, I'm gonna let you go first. What are five things that you feel ladies can do, or five ideas and making sure they're prioritizing their self care and just overall the self care.
One thing important to me, I think, during this time for self care is reconnecting with people.
Okay.
Again, as we mentioned, sometimes as women we get so busy. We get busy having fun, doing us, building our brand, building our empires, building our business. But I think this is the time to really reconnect with family, reconnect with coworkers. I know sometimes as coworkers, we just see our coworkers like, oh, I'm just going to work. But sometimes you guys are now in quarantine together. So you guys are experiencing the same things. Right. So maybe this is a good time to people.
Some of the coworkers you might not want to reconnect with though. Some of them get your nerve. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
You want to discern that, but absolutely, I think you want to reconnect with family because that pours back into you. It reminds you why you do, why you work so hard, and of course, you might have your family members you don't really get along to. Just reaching out to make sure that they're okay, doing the basics. I think will just re-energize you and rejuvenate you as a woman. So, of course, reconnecting with family and friends is definitely something I will recommend. My second thing is to feed your mind pure thoughts. This is a time to, I know January 1st, 2020, everybody and their mama had a list of things they were going to do in 2020. Well, clearly.
A whole list, yes.
I had a vision board.
Right.
Clearly, that thing is gone and probably in the trash now.
Right.
But
quarantine vision boards. I like that. Ladies can do quarantine vision boards virtually. Why not?
So mine is definitely the second point is to reconnect, have positive thoughts, pure thoughts, but also reconnect with your goals for this year.
Okay.
Reflect on your goals that you had, create a new strategy. Because I believe that this quarantine is not just something to cancel all your goals or to block you, but maybe delay you, slow you down. And maybe it's an opportunity for you to like rethink those goals or go back and look at those goals that you've been saying that you want to do that have been just on a shelf. Go back to those goals and see if you can reignite them. Think about your failures so far this year and, work on trying to be better. And then look at your goals. And then this is a great opportunity to do a lot of continuing education programs. I believe Harvard's doing like over 65 virtual programs for free.
Right.
A lot of opportunities to just do a lot of virtual learning to enhance your career. To enhance just you as a person and being a better person that you can market now that you have more continuing education under you. So again, the second point is just to feed your mind new thoughts and rejuvenate yourself.
No, go ahead.
The third thing is read a book. I recommend people to read a book right now. I know a lot Netflix and chilling. Hulu, Showtime, all these beautiful apps that you can watch tons of shows and just binge watch on them. But this is also an opportunity again for you to read a book, something that can enhance your who you are. I know relationship books are out now, so I highly recommend reading a book at this time.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah. I know, just keep it simple. Reading is fundamental, so go ahead and read.
I'm with it.
The next thing I would say is definitely we talked about self-care. I'm always emphasizing it is a spiritual thing, but of course there's a physical aspect of it. Eating, working out, finding ways to be physical now that the gyms are closed. Right. I've been actually at the park doing about 3 miles every 3 days.
Okay.
So I'm trying.
Your boy been doing 4 miles. I've been doing about 3 to 4, every other day. I'm trying to,
I'm
social,
trying.
social distance while I'm doing it, but I'm doing it.
Yes. So and then of course eating healthy,
Yeah.
when reading different healthy cookbooks.
Hmm.
So that can also help you. And I think those are good habits that now, after the quarantine is over, things are going to be changing as far as food.
Yes.
So this is an opportunity for you to enhance your cooking skills and ways to prep meal and things like that. And then
Okay.
I also recommend meditation. I
Yeah.
love meditation.
Yes.
I love meditation. There's different apps out there for meditation, different ways to again just centering yourself and
Yes.
re-energizing yourself. So I encourage people to do meditation during this time as well. And I think it's my fourth one. So my fourth one is to stop watching too much TV dealing with
Hmm.
coronavirus.
Hmm.
Because I honestly believe that when we feed ourselves negative thoughts and negative
Hmm.
things, it sits within us and it causes us to have fear, anxiety, a lot of issues. I was reading an article the other day that the population's anxiety has increased. People are
Mm.
scared, people are upset, people don't know what to do. And it is true, but you have control of how you respond to things.
Right.
So take control of that is another taking control of your emotions and what you bring into your life is another way of self-care. So
Yeah.
I recommend probably shutting down the amount of TV that you watch as far as the CDC
Yeah.
and politics and things that are going on. I just recommend that you follow this the social distancing habits, the mask,
Yep.
gloves, washing your hands, but don't get too involved in um, don't get so consumed in
Hmm.
what's going on TV that you just forget reality and what's who you are as a person.
Absolutely.
And then I would say my last one is I have two that I just love.
Just pick one. Pick one.
I would say keep a routine.
Yeah.
Keep a routine. Remember that this is temporary. This shutdown is temporary. We don't know when it's going to end, but it's definitely
Hmm.
temporary. Keep that in mind that life will restart after this. There'll be a time for us to get back to something different. It
Yeah.
won't be normal, but getting back to our daily routine. So I encourage people to during this time. My last one is to please try to create a routine. Keep up with it. Reset your body, reset your mind, rejuvenate, rest, and use this opportunity to benefit your soul, your mind, your body, and using self-care as your advantage during this time.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. So she gave some great ideas for the ladies. Even some of those things the fellas can benefit. I had meditate on my list as well because I feel like that's something that we don't do as men. But number one out the box for me is, and this is no in no order,
Yeah.
talking to a therapist. Right? I feel like there's something that men, especially black men, is something that's very taboo, something that we don't want to do. And full disclosure, I talk to a therapist. I have at different parts of my life to get guidance. And I always tell people, it's like, talking to a therapist does not mean that you're crazy.
Oh,
Not talking to a therapist means you're crazy because it means that you're not able to deal with those things that are roadblocks for you or things And I think sometimes people say, "Oh, well, I talked to my friend so and so or whatever like that," and that's great to talk to friends and family, but all of those people have a certain bias of you, right? Whether it be a bias that you are great and you can do no wrong, and they love you, or a bias that, well, you how you do, and you're like, well, that's just not the situation. So I think you want to talk to somebody who doesn't know you, who is a trained professional, who can help you navigate through some of the different things. And I feel like a lot of times, especially as black men, we have traumatic events that have happened to us in our life, things that we've seen, things we've experienced, and we just were like, yeah, tough it out, right? We're fine. No, we're not. We need to deal with those things so that we can be effective and be a great partner for our potential black queen, going forward and those kind of different things too. So that's my number one, talking to a therapist. Number two is kind of lighthearted, is as you are quarantining, wear some comfortable footwear around the house. I know that's like a crazy thing, but like self care, part of that. Was that?
You gotta explain that one. Explain that one.
Yeah. Well, people. I mean, there are a lot of different research behind when people's feet hurt. They don't feel good, right? They're whatever. Some people like to wear barefoot and that kind of thing. But a lot of brothers, we wear our little Nike slides. And find you a comfortable pair, bruh, and like wearing that around the house. Actually, I think it's going to be a positive thing for you because now your feet aren't hurting or whatever like that. And, I think that's a small little like subtle one, but I'll put that in
Yeah.
there. Number three, listen to uplifting and calming music. Music has a therapeutic um, way of doing something to us that really, really is amazing. So sometimes when we go out here and we have to deal with the world and all that, now that we're home, like this is that music that will uplift your spirit, uplift your mind, so that when you have those conversations as you're talking to people, whether it be family or friends or loved ones or significant other, that you can also have something in your spirit that can bless them as well. So definitely uplifting, calming music, man. It makes a whole. Have y'all ever seen though, like when somebody is like super, super like angry or hype, and they just listen to some hardcore stuff? You're like, oh man, what's going on? Man, everybody trying to get me. You're like, whoa, bro, what's going on, right? And so music does have a way of setting a mood, for us. So do that for yourself. Number four is kind of another lighthearted one, and people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but wear cologne. I'm not saying you. Many of you all only wear cologne, brothers. Y'all only wear cologne. Even for the ladies, y'all only wear perfume when you're going out to see somebody. I always tell people, are you worthy of this? Why are you letting everybody else say, "Oh yeah, you smell good," or whatever? Are you worthy of you smelling yourself? Or you smell good. You know what I mean? So that's a self care thing that you did. You went out and bought that cologne, right? Or somebody bought it for you, and if you still have it, you like it. So rock it, wear it, put it on. You smell you. Definitely take showers every day. Amen. But but after that, put a little cologne on. I think that's a really good thing because also from there are things in cologne that actually make you feel good. When you have certain smells, you just feel better. So I think that's something that you can do, like a very lighthearted thing that we do. And you'll be surprised. So many people do not wear cologne or perfume unless they're around other people. And I just don't understand that because I feel like the first person that you have to learn to love is you, you know. And then the last thing to get us out of here on this topic is put your phone on do not disturb and really just enjoy you sometime. Like whether like I said, reading a book, whether that be learning something, whether that be meditation, whatever that is. But the first thing you have to do is put your phone on do not disturb. Our phones are such a big source of information. People calling us. Did I check the email? All of these different things. We're constantly on our phones. And sometimes you need to put that do not disturb on and just enjoy your own company. Just enjoy your spouse's company. Just enjoy whatever. Like, and I think you'll be freed up from that. And there's some extremely great benefits that will happen from that. I really feel like you'll be healthier. Um, you'll be much more clear headed if you do that. So please take those five. And we're going to close out with before we get into talking about relationship talk, the quick benefits of self care. I believe that you're going to be from these things that we've talked about, that Dr. Arlene has talked about. You're going to be much more creative, right? So there are a lot of things that right now, because of the time and stress and responsibilities, you're not able to be creative. You about to be in your creative bag, right? But allow yourself the space to do that. Number two, more available for loved ones, right? Now you don't have time. So if that auntie or uncle or grandparent wants to call and talk to you and tell you some stories or tell you how you grew up or learn something new, now you're more available to them, and that also helps them. So I always tell people like it's a boomerang effect. A lot of times when you're helping somebody else, it also helps you as well. Um, so healthier, your stress decreases, and just like higher level of clarity and thought. And I feel like that's going to help you um, to whatever we go to the next level. We going the new normal that we're going to experience. What are some of the benefits that you feel like people can benefit from self care? What are some of the benefits?
All your points were absolutely great. I actually will also just add just being able to be on a higher level of who you truly are, reaching your highest capacity, reaching your highest true self.
Right.
And that happens when we do the self-care.
Yes.
When we pour into ourselves and allow others to pour into ourselves into us as well. The benefits of self-care is just phenomenal. It allows you to see who you are. You actually grow. And I encourage people to journal so they
Yes.
can see how they have grown. And with self-care, you learn new tools, you learn new ways to deal with things. It gives you new thoughts. Because sometimes we're a creature of habit, and
Yeah, definitely.
in order to break those habits, you have to have new thoughts.
Yes.
So self-care, it allows you to, when you actually really get in tune with it, it allows you to have new habits, new thoughts, and it just changes you to be just a healthier person within. Um,
Yeah.
and it allows you to have a healthier life. I know a lot of people. I think in this world we think about generational wealth so much. We think
Yeah, definitely.
about money so much. We need generational wealth to help our grandparents and this and that. And yes, but in order for you to obtain those things, you must have some inner self care as well, because
Yeah.
you're trying to tackle something that
Yeah.
is hard and maybe in your family no one has ever done. In order for you to get there, you have to have the right mind, spirit, and body to get there. So you have
Absolutely.
to, in order to the highest success, you have to have some type of principles with your self care.
So, with all of that being said, we're gonna talk about how self care and those kind of things affect dating and relationships right now because I've been hearing a lot of stuff going on. Like, but one thing I'll just preface it with is if some of you guys are actually experiencing and going through your self care process in a healthy way right now, you've been quarantining and you actually are using this time wisely to do self care and those kind of things and get to know yourself better, and you are starting to cut people off that are no longer good for you, that is a healthy result of corrective action, right? So don't run away from that thinking, oh man, I can't believe I don't call him no more. I don't call her no more. It's probably a reason you don't because now you have more clarity of thought. And I feel like it's almost like within our bodies, right? When you're eating a whole bunch of junk, you're sluggish and you can't think and the kind of stuff like that. But when you're putting positive things in, you're much more clear. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I should do this and do that, whatever. So I think that's one of the major hurdles and things that we're dealing with. What are you hearing? Or what are you experiencing when it comes to dating and relationships right now?
With self care or just
Yeah,
in general?
She's
Um,
like, I guess with the challenges that we're facing when it comes to this.
right now, for in this world, in this quarantine, there's two. When it comes to relationships, there's two types of people. There's the people that are in relationships, and then there's people that are not in relationships. People that are single, and
Hmm.
they're having two different experiences. People
Okay.
that are in this is the opportunity to get closer to your partner to see if you really like the person. Because
Hmm.
you now that person, if you're quarantining together, and it allows you to really like see who that person is authentically,
Yeah.
because they have no excuse now.
Right.
That person that you were dating that said they didn't have time to take you out to dinner,
Right.
there's nothing for that person to do now. So they
Yes.
should have time to take you out to dinner and spend more time with you and invest in your relationship that you guys are trying to build. So I think during this quarantine, for people that are in relationships, this is an opportunity to really challenge your relationship,
Yeah.
come up with new things, new tips, new ways to reconnect, ways to see other parts of your partner. And then, of course, passion, love, increasing that in your relationship. And then for those that believe that this is time to really see that this person is not for you, again, after this is going to be a new norm. So this is an opportunity for you to start fresh
Yeah.
without someone you clearly were not compatible with. For people that are single, I know there's two types of single people during this quarantine. People that are really struggling with it,
Yeah.
having to really sit with yourself and deal with you, and realizing that you are single.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some people that are always busy. They're always busy, so they don't even have an opportunity to really relax.
And now
Have
they know they're single, right? They single. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I think for
Yeah.
that person, it's now an opportunity to realize, okay, do I really want a relationship? And
Yeah.
how bad do I want it? What changes am I going to make? What time am I going to make to actually make space for someone to be with? And how am I going to do that in a way that is tactful and able to supply my needs? And that
Yes.
goes back to self-care. And then we have those other singles that, maybe not doing so well, and they just don't even, still not think about a relationship. I think that goes back to I know they don't want a relationship. They don't even think about it. They don't care. They know that they're lonely, but they just don't want to deal with it. For those people, I say it's time for healing. It's
Thank
time
you.
to.
Yes. Because
It's time.
look, I mean, people always say, man was not meant to be alone, and women not be doing. I understand those things. The thing that I'm struggling with right now is I see a lot of young ladies. I'll say this, who are dating people and giving time to people who are not worthy of your time. Like, and they keep going back. And I'll say this, I'm gonna keep it 100. If you're somebody who's getting into your 30s and 40s, you have to prioritize this time that you have right now of making good decisions. Because I've seen so many people I've coached and worked with over the years who just thought, oh, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I'm gonna tell you what, father time is undefeated, and you want to definitely, just get in that space of understanding. Like I said, that's why I think self care is so important. And this season, I'm learning right now more and more. I think God is letting us sit our behind down and be more isolated, to work on some things, to understand ourselves differently, because a lot of times things right now you're not prepared to date, and you might have put it off and you've put your energies into other things and that and whatever. But right now is a season for you to really, really look at yourself and say, hey, what are some of the things I want to work on? What are some of the goals I want to attack? And I just feel like I love love. I love relationships. I love everything that encompasses it. But I feel like I'm just tired of seeing people who don't understand that he is not interested in you. You know what I mean? He's not ever going to be interested. He's not coming around. He's not too busy. And this is why this whole quarantine has been so significant, because now, like you said, there's no excuses, right? Work is not that crazy, right? He doesn't have that many other responsibilities. He got to go here and go there, bro. No, you don't. So now, I hope that they will see that, he's just not into you. Move on to somebody who will value you, understand you, you understand what your worth, what you're bringing to the table, and really celebrate you in this season, and going forward. So I just think that that's my 2 cents to the ladies. I'm saying it in love to y'all, but I've coached so many people on the back end of it who wasted so much time with somebody who literally gave you 25,000 signals that they were no longer interested. And I always say this: men are intentional. When a man wants you, you're gonna know it. You're gonna know it, right? It's like a number one draft pick or a top free agent in sports. As soon as 1201 hits, they call that person, they call that free agent and saying, "Hey, we want you on our team, right? This is the first time that we're eligible to call you, and we at 12 o'clock we called you at 12 o'clock, 1201 because we value you and we want you to be a part of our team." If they don't have that level of urgency for you or with you, it's not coming. It's not coming down to. It's not because they still hurt or they dealing with this. Everybody's hurt. Everybody has a sob story, right? Look, we have to deal with it and understand that it's not coming. So understand, please, y'all, move on to somebody who values your time and your worth.
I completely agree, because I think a lot of times women who do find themselves in those situations, it's a lot of just not realizing who they are,
Yeah.
not seeing their worth. And sometimes women, we psychoanalyze men so much,
Yeah.
just forget the basics.
Yeah.
The basics. And I think quarantine is the time again to just reset and really see who you are. And one of my top fives that I actually should have had is, this is the opportunity really to just get closer to God, or whatever
absolutely.
higher have, because again, I think I think I'm drawing a blank. I think self-care has a lot to do with knowing who your creator is and knowing
Hmm.
why you're created and who you are.
Yes,
And I should have mentioned that earlier, but yeah, definitely. So for
definitely.
people single,
That's a
um,
given. Everybody in the podcast know that's a given with me. Get closer to the Lord because right now that is part of also a lot of people's mental health. Understand that you serve a God that no matter what you're going through and how you're going through it, it's still to say, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. Right? He's with you in it, and I think that's something. And this is a great opportunity for you to see who you're dating or somebody you whatever, are they checking on you? Are they calling to make sure you're okay? Because if you serve a God who checks on you, right, and makes sure you're okay, he sits high, looks low. We talk about that in church and all that. But I really feel like people are not looking at those like tangible small things. Am I sending that person a text? Am I sending that person a call? Like, hey, just want to call you, see, are you okay? Are you safe? Are you healthy? Hey, did you need anything? Those kind of things. A lot of those people that you're dating right now or dated beforehand have fallen off and you haven't heard from them because you don't offer anything to them. They can't
and
come through, right? They can't come through. So y'all got to sit in that for a second. Like, understand where you are in the season. Say that was
good.
that. Yeah, I mean, so that's what we have to understand. Like, you're going to come out of this thing better with a potential partner that might be above what you ever thought. And you're like, I had to go through all this and sit in the house. And God was like, boy, girl, you got to sit down for a minute because I'm doing something, right? I'm cutting some people off who mean you no good, right? People who were leeches on your life. And I'm setting them free and setting you free to experience somebody that I intended for you when I created you. I had this person in mind, like, I hope you get to them, but now all the noise is blocked out, right?
You over there preaching.
I'm
So,
giving a little word. I gotta give a little word at the end.
but no, you're so right. You're so right. And that's one thing I personally, just to be a little transparent, I think that's one thing that I've learned the most during this quarantine is that God is honestly in control.
Yeah,
Like I
absolutely.
look back at my vision board of all these things I wanted to do this year,
Yeah,
and just to see it's actually been stripped from me. Like everything I thought I was gonna do is not happening.
yeah,
Um, so I think this is the opportunity to really just realize how much God is in control and realize
yeah,
times where you have excelled, those times where you have been everything has been good, everything has been great. You
yeah,
really need to realize those were God's plans for you,
absolutely.
why you achieve those things. All the success you have had were genuinely in the hands of God for you to get
Yep,
there.
yep,
Because if He didn't want you to get there, it would have been like a quarantine
yeah,
during those opportunities. He could have stopped all those things. But no, all the success you have had in your life has genuinely been in the control of God. But
absolutely.
now, unfortunately, we are in a quarantine and God is telling us to stop and everything
Yep,
that you thought you this summer, because it's hot girl summer.
that's right. Look,
Some people
it might have been hot girl summer, but the Lord trying to cool y'all some of y'all off. Y'all was a little too hot last summer, so He was like, I'm about to take it. I'm about to make it cool girl summer, okay?
so so yes. So going back to singles,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's an opportunity for freedom for a lot of single women,
Hmm.
and for men, because there's some good men out there that have been chasing women who don't mean them well at
Absolutely.
all. So
Absolutely.
I think a reality check for singles as well. And I'm happy. All my single friends, I'm just happy for them because this is another opportunity of self-care, of
Yeah.
getting deeper in who you are and getting more clear on what you want and what you're not going to want and having discipline to go after what you do want.
I
So
agree
yeah,
totally.
for
And
sure.
I'm gonna do something I've never done, Arlene. I'm gonna do something I've never done.
So,
If you watch this, I just feel inspired to do this. If you are watching this, y'all, and you are feeling like, you know what, I am ready to get married. I'm single and I'm ready to get married. I'm intentional about my intention of what I want for my life. I want you to hit me up. You can leave a comment. You can DM me. My Instagram is at King Brandon Scott. Whatever. Find me. Find Arlene. Look, I want to make sure in this season that we're helping people who do have intention, who have broken away from the noise, and who really see, hey, this is my time, and I want to see what we can do to connect y'all, or give you some information, or whatever we can do to help. I really want to help those intentional people. because I feel like you guys get lost in the noise, and sometimes, like, to your point, it's some great women, there's some great men out here who just are not represented, who people don't talk about, you know what I mean? Who get overlooked. And I'm tired of that. This is a season of nobody's gonna get overlooked. At least with me and Arlene, we're gonna find out. So hit us up, please. Reach out if you have a friend or a girlfriend or a homegirl or homeboy or cousin or them, all of them. If you want to recommend somebody, hit them up. I want to see how we can help them. All right. So before we get out of here, let us know how people can find you and follow you and all those good things.
Oh, absolutely. As mentioned before, I am a life coach, and you can find me as my tag on Instagram is Arlene Asante. That's ARLENE ASANTE, and that's Instagram. I always try to put positive quotes, reinforcement, and just show you all the cool things that I do. But most importantly, is to provide self care to those people that do follow me. If you want to have one-on-one coaching, you can be found at Arlene, the speaker and life coach at gmail.com. That's Arlene, life coach and speaker at gmail.com. You can send me an email. And then also, yeah, those are probably the best ways you can contact me. Again, my biggest passion or desire for people is to be free of their past challenges, to understand what really is, to really just reset and rejuvenate. And I believe that's what this quarantine is for. And just to empower people for you to be the best you can be. And sometimes we need a little help. And I think the people that are most successful are those people that seek help from me, from Brandon. I think us two together, honestly, are just powerful and helping people just really just see the best in them.
Amen. Let's go. So please hit Arlene up. I thank you again for being here. This is a kickback. Anybody knows like what a kickback is? It's full of great conversations, great people. But unfortunately, with every kickback has to close. We done got to go home, but we got to get out of here. So peace. Love you guys. We'll see y'all next time. This has been Kickback Conversations. Holla.